Welcome to the jungle. Of course, everyone's going to be doing that joke for this film, aren't they? We are talking about the 2017 movie Jungle, directed by Greg McLean and stars Daniel Radcliffe. Based on a true story, this actually tells the story of three friends as they decide to go trekking in the Bolivian jungle, led by this kind of guide that they happen to meet on the way. Obviously, kind of disaster strikes. Things don't go according to plan and it ends up being a survival in the wilderness type movie. So let's talk a little bit about Jungle. I've got to say this is a pretty enthralling movie based on a true story. So, you know, with these type of true stories, I never know what's been kind of dramatised and what actually happened. So, you know, this review I'll point out was commenting on the movie. I am not commenting on what happened in real life. So please bear that in mind when watching this review. So anyway, let's talk about it. This is actually a pretty good movie, to be fair. Obviously, it's an absolutely visual treat with these jungle vistas, absolutely beautiful cinematography, and it's such a well-shot film. And it really does kind of capture both the beauty and brutality of nature. Really, really good. So we have like these, you know, these scenes where we see these great kind of like these, great jungle vistas, these star-filled skies and things like that, with butterflies flying over, so it looks great. But at the same time, we see the darker side, the kind of the more, the downside of it, maybe being in the wilderness. It will certainly put you off backpacking in the jungle. There's a really gross scene where Daniel Radcliffe's character has to extract a kind of parasite from his body. It's pretty grim, but let me tell you, but that's not the only thing. So it looks great, and I've got to say I thought the performances are all pretty good here. Radcliffe makes you forget about kind of Harry Potter and you get invested in his character. I think his character is meant to be Iranian, so I don't know if there's going to be, you know, some issues maybe with casting ethnic correctness and things like that, whitewashing, whatever you want to call it, but nonetheless I thought he did a pretty good job here. And the other characters as well, there's four of them basically, they all seem kind of like genuine, real sort of characters, and they kind of really do seem like friends, and the guide seems a little bit kind of mysterious and stuff as well. There's some fantastic action set pieces. This is, I mean, it's not exactly an action film exactly, but I probably would class it as that because there are lots of things that happen that kind of put our characters in peril, and there's some thrilling scenes in there. What didn't work for me, actually, got to say this was a pretty good film. There are, and this is where I say I'm commenting on the film, there was a point in this movie where we have our characters have a bit of a disagreement, and it really seemed it to come out of nowhere, and I don't know, I wasn't quite buying out. We have a point in the movie where our characters make a decision about an injury, and I don't know, it just seemed like really selfish, and it almost seemed to come out of nowhere, and I wasn't quite buying it. So if that actually is what happened, then fair enough, that's just what happened. But I don't know, it just seemed a little bit just too sudden and kind of out of nowhere for the characters, to be honest with you. I've got to say as well, when we kind of get into focusing on Daniel Radcliffe's character, and he's obviously really kind of struggling both physically and mentally, and we kind of see the mental toll that it's taking from him. I've got to say it may be kind of dragged a little bit in those periods, because it was kind of really, yeah, okay, I get it, he's really mentally suffering and clearly having a breakdown. But then we had another scene that kind of showed you that, and then kind of another scene that showed you that. But okay, I've got it. You know, I've got it. He's really suffering mentally. The other character, the kind of like our kind of other central character, I suppose, maybe would have done a bit more screen time, but I guess he's not as famous as Radcliffe, so, you know, don't quite get as much screen time. But overall, this is a very, very solid film. I really enjoyed this film. It's, you know, it keeps you keeps you wanting to watch the next thing. You want to find out that's kind of obviously what happens to these characters. Obviously, this is a true life story, so you can obviously find out what really happened. But nonetheless, I find it intriguing. So I'd advise maybe looking what actually happened to these guys in real life before you're watching the film. I really like this film. I thought it was very, very, very well shot. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.